Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. And I am so excited. One of my absolute favorite people ever, Laurie Lewis, and she is with the Fast Forward Intermittent Fasting and Wellness. She's all about helping people feel energetic and liberated. And she loves to help people with intermittent fasting, and overall wellness. So, Laurie, welcome.
It's so good to be here. And a piece of what I do is have people escape the noise and punitive nature of diet culture and feel really amazing.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's so great. Well, you are just a master at fasting. And as you guys know, it's so funny because I am an intermittent fasting queen myself, and I've done 3-day fasts, I've done 7-day fast. The longest fast I ever did was actually 21 days. I did 7 days with water, then I did 7 days with juice, and then I did 7 days with like smoothies. So it was like 21 days, but it wasn't all water. So it was 7 days water, 7 days just juice, and then 7 days, um, you know, with smoothies and such. So it was like a 21-day fast that I did. So I am no, I know fasting well. And I recently just tried to do a 3-day fast and I only made it 2 days. I was like, literally, like, I told my husband, like, I feel absolutely horrible. Like, had I've never felt quite that bad. And I was like, we were actually at Bible study and they were having food there. And I told him, I said, I'm going to end, I had to
I'm
listen to
done.
my
Yeah.
body. I had to listen and I knew I
Yes.
wasn't going to be able to go an extra day. So I ended up having a little something to eat. We're going to talk about intermittent fasting too, but I want to start by talking about longer fast, why you should do longer fast, what is the benefit of doing it, and your past experience with it.
Great. Oh my gosh. There are so many deep healing benefits. Whether a person is a daily intermittent faster, a person who has an eating window every day, or they do intermittent fast like alternate day fasting, or a person from time to time wants to do a longer fast like a 36-hour fast once a week or a 3-day fast once a month or every few months. The whole purpose for any of it is deep healing and to allow the body a rest to lower inflammation, boost our immune system, stabilize our hormones, especially insulin and cortisol and our hunger hormones. And so it's wise and motivating to approach any fasting schedule as an opportunity to heal. And so I've kept an eating window every day for 7.5 years. I'm 61. My biological age is 40 because my cellular health is so exceptional right now that the doctors, when they put me through all these tests, they can see right away that I am always burning body fat.
So tell
So
people your
healing.
regular window. Before you do that, let's hear a little bit about what your regular kind of routine with fasting is, and then we'll move into the longer
Great.
fast.
So I discovered for myself early on, like I said, 7.5 years ago, the eating window that has me feel amazing. And I don't usually say what my schedule is because, as much as we would like to have people do their own individual, make their own individual choices and what's best for their body, people tend to want to do what the teacher's doing or the guru's doing. So, here are the criteria for discovering your perfect eating window for your body every day. Fast, clean. Okay. You want to feel amazing. So you want to gradually work up and discover the eating window that has you feel your best. Second, it's got to work with your life and the people in it, right? So let's say you decided you love a morning eating window, but it's important to you to have dinner every day with your family. Then you got to change it, right? So you adjust your eating window based on your fitness, your commute, your daily schedule, the people in it. The third criteria for discovering your perfect eating window for you is it's got to help you reach and maintain your health and weight goals. So you got to feel amazing, it's got to work with your life, and it's got to have you reach optimal health. and stay that way. So this isn't a short-term fix. And so then once I discovered my favorite eating window that met all those three criteria, I change it based on social events or travel, but mostly I settle right back in to my daily favorite eating window that has me absolutely feel my best. And I'm one of very, very, very few people, unfortunately, who set out to lose weight over the age of 50, lost it, and have kept it off for years and years. So the number one tip for successful longer fasts is to already be a fat burner.
I
Yeah.
want to hear what your window is. What, like, not,
Oh, you're going to try and make me
yeah,
tell
I
you?
want to hear what yours is, and then I'll talk to you about what mine is.
Yeah. So my favorite eating window is a 4-hour eating window. So I treat that as one meal spread out over that length of time. So I will open, I love your style of just like a little window opener, a little appetizer. And so for the first 2 years of me intermittent fasting, 2 years minimum, I open my eating window every day with a little packet of green olives from Trader Joe's. There's 10 little olives in there. The fat, the salt was extremely satiating for me. I would eat those 10 little olives, and then I would decide what else I was going to have. I would for sure have a big giant meal, but that 4-hour window gives me enough time to hear the communication from my body about the nutrients and foods it needs and wants today, and the quantity of food it needs and wants today. Some days I'm ravenously hungry and I always eat to satiety. So I'll eat more food to satisfy my body today. And other days I'm not feeling so hungry. And that length of time for the 4-hour eating window is perfect for me. But other people love a 7-hour window. Other people love a 2-hour eating window. Some people love a 36-12 on repeat. So again, don't do what I do. Do what has you feel your best, works with your life, and helps you reach your personal health goals. What do you do?
I really have been changing things up, and I just really think I do best with a 6-hour eating window.
Yeah.
And I go from some days doing 6 hours, some days doing 4. So 6, then 4. When I'm trying to lose weight and I need to be thinner, I'm eating in a 4-hour window. When I'm
Yep.
just like, I kind of fluctuate between 5 and 7 pounds. So like about 5 pounds any which
Me
way.
too.
You never know. Like, is Chantel
Yeah.
going to be 5 pounds heavier, or is she going to be 5 pounds less? You never really know with me. So if I'm in my 5-pound heavier mode, then I'm going to go, oh gosh, I need to start slimming down a
Tighten
little
it up.
bit.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go into a 4-hour eating window. If I'm in my 5-pound less, then I'm going to go, okay, well, I have a little bit more room. But the biggest thing is how I'm feeling. So how
Yeah.
do I feel, and how hungry am I? Really listening to my body and going, and just listening. Is my stomach growling? Am I physically hungry? I still, every once in a while, yesterday I caught myself. I was so stressed yesterday.
Mm.
And there's just certain days. This is the thing for me. When I'm extremely stressed, I cannot do a shorter eating window, because I
That's
have to
right.
tell everyone fasting is a stress on your body. So if you are under that day a massive amount of stress, you're going to see me eat in a 6 to 7 hour window. Now, I
That's
don't
right.
think I ever eat more than a 7-hour window, but if I'm massively stressed, that window gets higher. If I'm feeling good, it's relaxing. Now I'm going to have a shorter eating window.
That's so well said. When people get surprised by maybe a morning where they're like, gosh, I'm so much hungrier this morning. Why is that? You want to look at a couple things. Are you sleep deprived? Did something just upset you or stress you out? Because hunger will arise. The body's like, I'm feeling an emergency. I might need some fuel. And then you want to look at the food quality that you closed your eating window with yesterday. There are usually some obvious reasons why hunger would arise strongly in a morning when maybe it doesn't for you. And so you have a bunch of options. You can drink some water. You could put a little salt under your tongue. You could take a high quality magnesium like by optimizers. You can breathe for a second. But if, hunger is not an emergency, as Jen Stevens says, but at the same time, if the body is like, I'm going through something today and I do actually need some nourishment right now, some actual nourishment, you should listen to it. And you didn't fail or screw up or, there's nothing wrong. You should get extra gold stars because you paid close attention to taking good care of yourself.
Yeah. And I think, changing that mindset, because when someone gets hungry, let's just pretend your stomach growls.
Big
What
deal.
most people
Yeah,
do is they panic. Like it's like, oh my gosh, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. And it's like, instead to have this idea of like, oh my gosh, this is so wonderful that my stomach's growling. Because right now I know that my body is using fat for fuel. So
that's
right
right.
now I know it's going to my hips and it's going to my thighs and it's going to other places. So this is an exciting time. And it's just literally taking that mindset shift to go, okay, I am going to be burning fat right now instead of like, oh my gosh, I'm hungry, I'm hungry.
We want that noise to quiet down, and I like to call them hunger alerts, right? And as you just said so beautifully, it's an opportunity to notice my body just said, don't forget to eat later. Imagine ancient humans, okay, 300,000 years of human evolution. And we're in this last 100 years where we think we're supposed to eat all the time. But human beings have evolved. Our brains have evolved. Our physiology has evolved to get stronger, clearer, sharper, more productive, more stamina when we're in a fasted state. It's just the body's also really smart and reminds us to don't forget to go find food, because through all human history, food was scarce. We had to go get it. But right now, our stomach growls and we've got food right there at our fingertips 24/7. And that is causing us a metabolic health crisis. 97% of Americans are metabolically unhealthy. 40% have fatty liver disease and don't even know it. That's deadly fat on our organs. So the most exciting thing to me to envision when I'm burning fat is any fat in or around my liver and my other organs is getting off of me and I'm going to live longer. It's
Mm.
really motivating.
I don't know about you guys, but I am stressed. And if you're feeling overwhelmed this holiday season, then I get it. With all the family get togethers, it is just a relentless source of stress. But anyway, there is something that I've got called Stress Guardian, and it's actually made by Bioptimizers, the people who make the magnesium breakthrough, which I love, love, love. But anyway, they are literally made this new product. It has 14 adaptogenic herbs and it just regulates your stress. I just actually took some right this second and it's awesome. If you go to stressguardian.com/wasteaway and put in waste away for 10% off your first order, it's stressguardian.com/wasteaway. Go there now.
So let's talk about longer fast and some
Okay.
things that you recommend for people and your experience about a longer fast.
Well, I think I want to start with saying too that our mindset as younger people, and let's say younger women, has been that I've got to push hard if something's important to me, and it's got to be hard if and I've got to be pushing, and I got to be pushing myself if I want to achieve anything, or if it's important to me. And if I'm not trying hard enough, I need to try harder. This is very different than that. And wherever a person is with their age and wherever they are in life, if we can start approaching challenges as something peaceful and gentle, and I'm thinking it through and I'm doing what's good for me, having a mindset of steadiness, of gentleness, of curiosity, of customization, of making this my own and respecting my body is going to take us far. So if a person is inspired to have some deeper healing, some deeper cellular cleanup and autophagy and boosting human growth hormone and make our bodies making new stem cells, like there's just an extraordinary amount of healing that happens in a 36, 48, 72 hour fast and beyond, that if we set ourselves up well to be gentle and take really good care of ourselves, that longer fast will serve us well. And so a person can certainly ramp up to, I really encourage people to be a daily intermittent faster like we are, burn your own body fat every day, chip away at the old stored sugar that's in there and get into a fat burning ketosis state every day. And then if you want to go longer, it's easier, much easier. And so as we head into winter in North America, if a person wants to lower their inflammation and boost their immune system, having a longer fast can be, I mean, the benefits are the list is really long. So where should we start with that? What's the next thing we would want to know?
Talk about your experience
Okay.
when you went away for the retreat
Okay.
and
Okay.
what
I
benefits
haven't,
it was. I wanted to hear all the details.
I've only told my close friends and my clients this. So now it's public knowledge. So when people have asked me over the years about longer fasts, I say, set yourself up with intermittent fasting, try a 36-12, then maybe go a little longer, then do a 3-day fast every once in a while. Certainly no more frequently than once a month. But if someone wants deeper healing, I always say, go to the True North Health Center in Santa Rosa, California. And I've been sending people there for 25 years, but I've never been myself. And I decided recently to go. And based on my optimal health, I was really there to experience what it's like to be in a medically supervised, very caring, gentle environment, attentive, professional. They've been there for 40 years, reversing lymphoma, type 2 diabetes, autoimmune diseases, hypertension, fatty liver, you name it. And so I drove down, I live in Portland, Oregon. I drove down to Northern California and they decided that a good length of time would be 10 days. So I embarked upon a 10-day water fast. And then the requirement is that you refeed for half the number of days you fasted. So mine was a little shorter. I did a 4-day refeed. So I was there a total of 14 days. 10-day water fast. Now, some people start with juice. Some people start with their incredible food, ease into the water fast. It could be 5 days. It could be 40 days is the top they do there to really turn around health issues for people. And it was one of the most extraordinary things I've ever experienced. And one of the things I really saw for myself, Chantel, was that true healing can only occur in the body, like real actual healing, when we feel safe. And to be in an environment of, I call it like convalescing, like total rest, pure water, twice a day, a PA and a doctor. So 4 people came to my room, and to check our vitals twice a day. I was constantly being cared for and checked on in this nourishing kind environment, professional. There's all sorts of services. It basically costs the same amount as a Hampton Inn for one night. I mean, this is not a luxury spa, but you're getting such incredible care. And I wanted to experience it not only for my coaching and my personal experience, because like I said, I've been recommending it. I might as well know what they really do there. But I've been diagnosed in late May with some very serious retina damage. And the only solution seems to be a really extreme surgery that the retina surgeons don't actually want to do. And so I wanted to see if it would make a difference. And they've reversed other eye things like macular degeneration and glaucoma and diabetic retinopathy, but never the exact scenario that my left eye is dealing with. And after 7 days of water fasting, I woke up on the 8th morning and all signs of damage had disappeared. So I normally right now in my left eye experience lots of black spots and flashing lights is a constant thing. And it went away. That stopped. All the black spots and the flashing lights went away when I woke up on the 8th morning. And I didn't tell them until the 9th morning because I wasn't sure if it was real. And now I've been home a week and they still haven't returned, and I have retina scans next Tuesday. So I'm really envisioning that the surgeon sits down and looks at me and says, "We've never seen this before."
I can't wait to hear
Yeah.
what they say. But it's just, it's so powerful. Like, people do not realize how powerful fasting is. It's just beyond, it literally heals your entire body.
Yeah. Whatever people think is normal now, eating all the time, snacking in the car, drinking flavored drinks from the minute we wake up to the minute we go to sleep, like asking our kids every 5 minutes if you need a snack. I mean, this is not normal. And, I feel like it was 2 years ago, 60 Minutes had an episode on obesity, and they're like, we just don't know what is causing this, genetic anomaly. It's not genetic. If obesity were genetic, this would be the greatest genetic anomaly of all human history. Okay. So the quality of our food and the frequency of our food is causing us great damage to our health. So we need to normalize fasting clean, drinking plain water, having an eating window, eating real whole food. But my coaching is to start with one thing at a time. Don't start running and, eating keto and doing everything all at once. Do one thing at a time. Decide today what time you're closing your eating window. Drink plain water, go to sleep, wake up tomorrow, drink plain water, maybe have a black coffee if you like coffee, or a black tea if you like tea. Drink plain water, open your eating window later, eat real food, repeat. And within 3 weeks-ish, you will be what we call fat adapted. You will have flipped this metabolic switch, and you will be utilizing your own body fat for energy, which is this beautiful, clean, sustained. The food noise gets quiet. The decision fatigue gets quiet. And we just get freed up to go. You know what it's like to just go about your life and think about what you're going to eat later. It's no big thing.
Guys, I just want to interrupt for just a second, and I want you to hear Paul Saladino talk about why liver is so important. And if you don't like liver, we have another option for you.
Your ancestors were eating liver. And the reason that this sort of wisdom has been passed down is because liver is very nutritious. It's basically nature's multivitamin. If you look at the nutrients in meat, they're great. You've got zinc, you got B6, you got B12, you got some K2. But if you look at liver, it really complements what's in muscle meat. And there are many unique nutrients found in organs, specifically liver as a powerhouse of these, that are difficult to obtain outside of liver. Like meat and organs are like peanut butter and jelly. They just go together. They're supposed to be eaten together. The easiest way to eat liver is just to do it raw. If you don't want to eat liver raw, you can cook it. But the reason that I like to do it raw is because there are unique nutrients in liver that are probably somewhat degraded when you cook the liver.
This really is like the most nutrient-rich supplements that you can find, and they are amazing. I have tried them. I absolutely love them. So just go to heartandsoil.co, use the coupon code Chantel Ray, and save you some money there. Let's talk about coffee for a second, because one thing that has happened to me recently, and I think it's actually affecting my fasting, as when I usually drink 1 or 2 cups of coffee in the morning, and I drink organic coffee, low acidity and all of that. But lately, I feel like it's making me queasy, like after between fasting and having that coffee. And the acidity in coffee when you're drinking on an empty stomach can lead you feeling queasy, but it's been more than ever that I'm feeling this way. And so, there's been different times in my life where I have weaned myself completely off coffee, then I bring myself right back, and then I wean myself off. I have this relationship with coffee that I go back and forth. I want you to talk about coffee, cream in your coffee, that's a big one. And just what's your thoughts on coffee in the morning and fasting?
Okay, well, I have loved coffee my whole life. I remember sneaking it in when I was in like 7th grade, feeling very adult. I wasn't allowed, but so coffee's kind of always been part of my identity. So I'm a fan. I'm curious where you are in perimenopause or menopause, because one of the things that happens to us as we're going through these hormonal transition is our tolerance for caffeine really diminishes. If you are a person who enjoys the experience and taste of coffee and what it delivers, which could be a little wake up in the morning, I really encourage people to stop taking this stimulant all morning long and into the afternoon, and having your plain water in the morning, having one small, like this cup will probably look huge on camera, but it's kind of small actually. And I usually only put a tiny amount of coffee in. And I love that. And then I stop and switch to water. And it doesn't serve us as we age to have that constant stimulant, because with every stimulant, there's going to be a nosedive, and let's wean ourselves off it. Our body needs more water. Our body needs more magnesium. And I'm really curious, Chantel, with your desire you were aiming for a 3-day fast, and then you felt like it was a smart idea to eat after you've been fasting 2 days. One of the things you asked earlier was that I want to put in now is to make sure that you have sufficient magnesium and other minerals, and that maybe a little bit of salt under your tongue could have gotten you through that hunger wave. Maybe not, we don't know. But the next time you feel the inspiration to do a longer fast, I would absolutely make sure before you start that you've got plenty of magnesium in your system. But I think we need less and less coffee. So I would hold it as this special little itty bitty thing that you give yourself in the morning, and then you're done. Keep your fasting super boring. And then regarding whatever you put in your coffee, you got to know that when we take in nutrients and food flavors, we opened our eating window, and we want our body in a complete digestive rest. And some people will say, yeah, but that fat in my coffee, or that, I call it candy coffee, that sweetness in the coffee, the way I love it, is my only happiness in the day. Okay, well, get some more happy things. And also, people feel like the fat in their coffee, whether it's cream or MCT oil, bulletproof coffee, gives them a nice sustained energy all morning until they eat later. But guess what? So does burning your own body fat. So would you rather burn the fat that you put in your coffee or the fat on your own body? Choose, because it's not going to do both. Okay. So I choose to not take in any flavors, any sweetness, any nutrients, because I want all the deep healing benefits of fasting and of fasting clean, and then save the flavor party for later in my eating window. And I get to eat the delicious foods that make me feel amazing. So plain unflavored water, plain unflavored black coffee, 1 cup, people, 1 cup, plain unflavored black or green tea, bitter black or green tea, plain unflavored minerals, electrolytes, and your medications as prescribed. That's the clean fast that Jen Stevens outlines in Fast Feast Repeat. You know, she's been on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, if you had to give someone 3 or 4 tips for intermittent fasting, let's say
Yeah.
one of the questions we get all the time, and you guys can always put your questions into questions@ChantelRayway. We answer them on the podcast. But one that we just seem to be getting over and over, and I'm not going to read the questions because some of them are long, but it's basically like, I used to be on a shorter fast, and then I went on vacation or something happened, and then I kind of got in a rut, and now I'm back to eating in a longer eating window, and I need to get myself back on track. Maybe they lost 20 pounds, they still have another 10 to lose, and they need to get themselves back on. Give us some kind of helpful tips that gets them back on track.
Okay. You're always starting over. Okay. So it's hard for people who were experiencing some success, either with weight loss or feeling really, really well. And then something happened and you stopped and you want to get back to it. You are starting over. Your liver is now storing glycogen. You've got stored sugar in your muscles and your liver and tucked all sorts of places. And we want to gradually chip away at that. And gradually is the important word. Don't be like run, straight out of the gates. Suddenly you're doing 18.6 on day 1. You want to be gentle. And decide today. Here's how you start. What time am I closing my eating window? You decide. Drink plain water, go to sleep, wake up, drink plain water, have a black coffee, and add just 12 hours. If you think 12 hours isn't hard, then go a little longer. Next day, go a little longer. And then put in the calendar at about the 3-week mark, approximately, that is when you will become fat adapted. So if people are watching today, it's Halloween. By Thanksgiving, you will be burning your own body fat. So give yourself that gentle time, that gradual settle in, maybe to an 8-hour eating window within a week or two. Settle in there, have 2 meals in 8 hours. If you're like, that's kind of long, maybe I'll try 7, maybe I'll try 6. Great. But remember those 3 criteria that I said. It's got to feel really well. It's got to work with your life, and it's got to help you reach your health goals. And then I would say my second most important thing is that you not get on the scale for the first month. It's like, what? How will I know how I'm doing? Well, when you aren't getting on the scale, you have your attention on how you feel. And that is the most important thing. So you can set what I call your dashboard. You can weigh yourself for 3 days in a row, get an average of those 3 days. That's your starting number. That's a real number, 3-day average. Put the scale away. Then have an article of clothing, no stretch clothing that you know exactly how that fits, or it's a little tight right now. Measure your waist. Our waist should be less than half our height for metabolic health number, not vanity. Take a picture, have an in-body scan, use your lab work. Like, man, I got to turn those triglycerides, have got to go down, or I need my liver enzymes, or my fasting glucose, or my fasting insulin, or my A1C. There could be some health markers that, believe it or not, November and December doesn't have to be a free for all. Like, nothing I do in November, December matters, and I'm going to wait till January to fix it all. We can actually keep an eating window now and feel amazing through the holidays and keep getting healthier and healthier, even though we're enjoying festive foods in our eating window, and arrive in 2025 feeling really proud of ourselves. We had a good time and we got healthier. It's really possible. So
I love
those would be
it.
my top tips.
Well, this has been amazing. You are absolutely one of my absolute favorite people in this space. You have so much knowledge. You're absolutely gorgeous. And I love talking with you. You always are so inspiring. So you guys need to follow her. Tell listeners where they can find you and where they can follow you.
So my business is Fast Forward, of course, and it's Fast Forward Wellness. And you can go to my website. If I spoke too fast, you can download a checklist of like making sure you're following the steps and having it be as easy for you as possible. And I love it when people write me. They'll write me in a year and say, oh my gosh, I did what you said and my life has changed. Or you can write me from my website and ask me about my coaching or my programs, or for some tips. I'm always happy to hear how people are doing. It's a great joy for me.
I love it. Well, you guys stay tuned. We've got another episode coming up in just a few. Bye for now.